Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I know that it's been a while since I did a video, and today's video is going to explain why I've been absent for a few weeks. I have recently started a new Etsy shop, and so I've been busy getting everything ready for that. So I decided to invest in a xTool D1 10-watt laser that can do cutting and engraving on most materials like wood, metal, glass, mirrors, leather. I mean, anything really you can do. The sky's the limit. I have been building an Etsy shop based around mostly using the laser and then still doing some of my digital designs to incorporate into that. So I'm still using all of my creativity that I already love to do and utilizing the laser to bring some new ideas together. So today's video is going to be showing you my new Etsy listing, which is going to be taking some little sketch journals that are 3.5 by 5.5 in size, and they have about 60 pages in them of sketch paper. So these are great little travel sketchbooks. I use one myself and I love it. If I don't want to like bring my full-on sketching, sketchbook and all my tools, I can just bring a little sketchbook and pencil and just sketch down some ideas if I'm out and about. But you can use them for anything. You can use them for journaling or whatever. But I'm going to take these little books and turn them and utilize some. This one is made out of suede leather. And then I'm also doing some in faux leather, which I will show you here in just a moment. So I'm going to show you from start to finish what I do to create the designs, create the program to cut out the shape of the cover, so the full-on rectangular size for the notebook, and just show you from start to finish how I do that. So let's get going. Okay, so the first thing that I do is figure out the designs that I want to do on the covers. For these particular journals, I did this design here, and I'll show you how I got that. And then I just did a little word, inspire. And then this one is a sunflower that I designed. And this one is so far is my favorite one, but I'll show you like what I did to design these. So I use iPad Pro, as most of you know, and the Procreate app. And so what I did is I opened up a blank canvas and then I add in a file that I have saved. So in my downloads here, I had downloaded this image here, which I really liked the look of it and wanted to incorporate. So I took that to this, to this. And so basically what I did was I took and I actually wanted this main piece right here to be in the bottom right corner of the journal. So I selected the image and then I flipped it vertically and then also horizontally so that I'm getting it in towards the bottom right corner here. And then I took the opacity and knocked it back. And then I created a new layer on top of that for me to draw out the ones I wanted to keep. So I am using my just round brush, and I'm pretty sure I've got it, at the size I want it. So then I take just a dark color and I trace out the ones that I want to keep and the design that I want to have, because I didn't want all of this on the journal. I wanted it to be more sparse like this. So I basically just, I'm gonna thin out my pencil just a little bit. So I basically traced what I wanted. And I'm doing this fast, so normally I would make sure the lines are a little cleaner. But it doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, you can change the shape of it a little bit if you want, but you're just using this as a base to kind of get your idea out. And then you just start, using the ones that you think you'd want to add in. So I know I want one there. I kind of wanted it to be thick at the bottom and kind of like swirl up. So you take whatever you envision and run with it. So that's what I did, is I just traced the ones that I wanted, and you know, you can even move and manipulate it if you want this one but you want it up higher or whatever. I did do some manipulation to kind of get what I wanted here. So this is how I designed that particular design. And you just keep going until you're happy with your design. And I even drew out on another layer like what the journal cover would look like, and kind of how I feel like I want it to be placed on that front cover. Just remember that if you create a rectangle, you're designing for like the bottom right corner and like the front half of the journal, which is how I did it. You can design stuff on the back too, but typically journals have designs on the front. So I had already created like half of a sunflower from an image that I had. So we're just gonna start with that. And basically what I did is I did the same thing. I just kind of knocked the opacity back, added a layer on top, and then I drew out the outlines of the sunflower, and then I used some of the design that was already in there. So if you see these little tick marks, that's kind of the design I used. And like I said, you can design whatever you want, but then I ended up designing like cute little swirls like this in it. And then on this one I did dots like this. And of course it ended up, you know, you take your time, but that's how I got this design right here. So you can pretty much do whatever you want. You can utilize images and manipulate them and turn them into what you want to. But that's what I did. And then once I create the design, I'm gonna turn the first one back on really quickly. So what I do is I take and send this to my Dropbox, because then I'm gonna go over to my laptop that runs my laser and finish out the designing in the Lightburn software that runs my laser. I send it over as a PNG. So I'm gonna go to my tool and I'm gonna hit share, and I'm gonna hit PNG, and then I'm gonna scroll down and I would send it over to my Dropbox. So the next step is going to be opening up in Lightburn. So I'm gonna switch you over to that. Okay, so hopefully you guys can see everything okay. The angle isn't the greatest, but we will just go with it for now. Okay, so this is the Lightburn software that runs the laser. And so what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to import the sunflower image. Now to get it looking like how I got it, as you can kind of see, it looks more like outlined instead of like a solid, you know, dark, like having those lines filled in. I wanted it to be a little like lighter and softer. So for what I did here is I right clicked on the image, and I went down to trace image, and basically that outlines all the black lines. And now I have simply the trace image. And right now it's on fill, but I can change the mode over here to line, where it'll be just the lines. Let me make that darker for you. So now you can see that it looks just like how this looks. So let me bring it up closer. So I'm gonna turn it back to the fill mode so you can see. So, or I could have done it like that, but in my opinion, it just lasers it too dark, and I don't prefer for this particular design that I'm going for. So I would leave it on the line mode. Let me open up a project. So laser projects, and then I have the mini sketchbook covers. And so now here is the journal cover outline. Yep, there's the sunflower. And so then you lay your design according to where you want it on your journal, and spacing and everything. So what I did here, if you can see, I've kind of got it bleeding over the edge just to make sure that when the journal edge gets cut, that the design is completely on the edge and there's no gap between that. See how now there's a gap between the edge of the journal and that? I wanted to make sure that that didn't happen. So I want to leave it just like that. So I do most of my designing in Procreate for like the drawing portion, and then the setup for how you design the journal, or whatever it is you're designing. you do in the light burn. And then the next thing that I do is each thing gets set according to whether you're engraving or whether you're cutting. So of course the sunflower is set for engraving, and then the outline is set to cut, which is a higher power, obviously, to go through the leather and actually cut it out. So now I'm gonna show you a little bit of how the laser runs so you guys can see, because it's really cool. Okay, so here is my laser. And so I wanted to do this sunflower journal on top of my pink leather, my pink suede leather. So I've got the pink suede here ready to go, just a piece cut out. And of course it's a little larger than the project, just to make sure I'm not like, you know, gonna run out of space or anything like that. So let me turn this on. You'll kind of get a feel for the noise too. And then I have something called an air assist, which helps kind of blow air as the projects are going. Okay, so here I have the light burn project. All right, so what I want to do is get connected. Okay, so now it's rehoming itself just to make sure it's in its proper start position. Now we're going to frame the project. So once it frames, I can then either move my material or I can move the laser. So generally I like to move the laser. You can see that crosshair, and it kind of shows you where the project is going to start, and then where, you know, it'll frame it all out. So I'm going to frame it again and just make sure I stay within the suede. Looking good. Okay, so we're good to go. So now we're going to hit start. So it's set up to do the engraving first and then the cut. And I won't show you the whole thing, but I just wanted you to get an idea. Alright, so I think we're getting towards the end here. So you can see how fast the laser is moving, because this, when you're engraving, you're doing faster speeds and lower powers, because you don't want to go through the material. And then when you see the outline of the journal being done for the cutout, you'll see that it moves slower, and you'll see that it turns into more of a like blue spark, because it's burning hotter for a higher power. And actually, yeah, see, there's a little bit of the blue. And we're done. All right, so there is our finished, and it took about 4 minutes, a little over 4 minutes to actually do the engraving and cutting. So not that much time at all. The next step is going to be to take your journal cover or your journal, and we're going to glue that on. So I use Mod Podge to glue the journal covers on, and just a dry brush. And then you just want to make sure that you kind of lift the cover and not get anything onto the pages. Your corners, kind of make sure you get the edges looking good. With Mod Podge, you've got a little bit of time, you don't have to like rush or anything. Okay, so that's looking good, and then you just want to kind of smooth it down, and then you want to flip it over and do the same thing. And I don't put any glue on the spine, that way you've got a little bit of flexibility when you're opening the journal. That fabric will move just a little bit easier on the spine. And there you have it. Cute little personalized sketchbook. So these sets are available in my Etsy shop. As of right now, I have these 3 designs. I have this set here, purple sunflower, the pink, and then the purple Inspire. So this is set number 1. Second set that I have is the Mermaid Sparkle with the Iridescent Sparkle and the Rainbow Sparkle. So this is set number 2. This is set number 3, which is just a glitter set in a rose gold. And then set number 4 is a snake skin. You can either get it with the gold journal or the silver journal. And you just, I'll have both sets available. So it'll be the 2 snake skin, and then you can choose between silver and gold for the third one. Those are all faux leather. The only ones that are in the suede leather is the first set. And now I have a pink sunflower. So I might make both options available here. So you can either have the pink sunflower or the purple sunflower. I hope you guys enjoyed that video and just seeing a little bit of what I've been doing for my new Etsy shop. I have lots of other things up on the shop and more are coming. I am a brand new Etsy shop, so just bear with me while I get more listings up, and I hope you guys enjoy what's there. There's some really cool things that you can do with a laser, so I've got some really cool options up there. If you need anything like custom that I don't offer yet, feel free to message me through Etsy and let me know what you would like, and I can create a new listing based around that if you'd like. So definitely send me any inquiries on things that you would like me to do. If you have any ideas, just keep in mind I can do wood, metal, glass, leather, fabrics, you name it. It's probably for the most part able to be done. Hope you guys enjoyed. Check out my Etsy shop, The Feathered Heart, and I look forward to hopefully fulfilling some orders for you or creating something custom for you. Until then, happy crafting. Bye.